Welcome everybody to the JKeSport Tier 2 Round 22 from the the Yas Marina circuit in Abu Dhabi tonight. Should be a very interesting one. Lots of different types of corners around here. A few good opportunities for overtaking. Should be an exciting race. We're getting all set to go for the start of qualifying. This is the third to last round of the session tonight. Is there actually rain? I would find that hard to believe, but all right, just Monkey Mafia being a little bit spiffy in the chat there, hoping for the rain. But as always, we're in the desert here in Abu Dhabi, and we do have our first drivers out on track. And that's going to be a fruit giver in the Alpine tonight. So as I mentioned before, only 3 rounds remaining in this championship. Coming into tonight, the championship leader was Shelly the Turtle in Mercedes. He had a 37-point lead over Johnny and a 40-point lead over VTech. So cannot win the championship tonight, but could definitely make some massive inroads on that. Quite a few drivers out on the medium tires already, at least for this opening run in the qualifying session. It's not the most difficult circuit for tire wear, but definitely a couple different strategies that we could see tonight. Will it be a 1-stop soft medium, a 2-stop soft medium soft? How will the safety car play in a factor tonight? Either way, it should be a fun one. Coming through the final sector now. And we'll get set for the opening lap of the session here at sunset in Abu Dhabi. We'll ride along board with Fruit Giver for a lap of the Yas Marina circuits. It's a fairly short pit lane. Going to get all the way to the right, going into the first braking zone, brake just about the 75-meter mark. Take a little bit of inside and outside curve, maximize that exit. Careful, nearly flat out as much as you dare through turns 2 and 3. Then up to the second heavy braking zone, braking just after the 100-meter board. Avoid the sausage curbs on the inside. Navigate the chicane, does a nice job with that, and take a late apex here onto the hairpin, trying to set yourself up for a good launch down the back straight, as he does well there. That's one of those corners you can take a couple of different ways, trying just to maximize the exit and the run down the long straight into one of the best overtaking opportunities, braking just around the 100-meter board. Very tricky to get right. You want to swing it back to the left for the entrance of that right-hander, and back on to another good overtaking opportunity, braking just about the 100-meter board. This chicane a bit more difficult. You want to take as much curb as you can and avoid the sausage curbs. Keeps within track limits. Entering sector 3, a handful of 90-degree corners. Got this flat out section. Can be difficult to get right. Hopefully the Red Bull gets out of the way. He sure does. Taking 90-degree corners one after another. Does a good job maximizing speed through there. Then just throw it in here for the final 2 corners around the 50-meter board. And out of the final corner, up to the line. Looks to be a pretty solid lap, and provisionally it'll be a 37.7 for Fruit Giver. I think next up, not sure who the next runner on a lap is. I think that could be VTech in the AlphaTauri tonight, running on a new wheel for tonight's race, so it'll be interesting to see how that works out for him. We did see while we were on board with Fruit Giver, Shelly is out of the session, so we'll have some work to do if we want to score some decent points tonight. Here's VTech. He is on the medium tire, so we'll have to see what that kind of pace looks like. Out to lines at 39.0, so not a bad opening lap. Here's Banshee, also on the medium tire, and he goes first with a 37.4. Ray in the other AlphaTauri will be next. And he goes even faster with the 37.0. So Ray, I believe he was the race winner last week in Monza. So we know he has the pace. Leclerc has invalidated. Call Me Maybe is next in the other Alpine tonight. Going up to the line, it's a 39.8 for Call Me Maybe. We've got the Ferrari of DMAC making his Tier 2 debut. 4th fastest with 38.8 on the soft compound tire. Welcome, Kaz. Good to see you in the chat once again. Should be a fun one tonight. Always lots of action around this circuit. I think we've got Sen Bossi, who is the same driver as Just Secret. He had a good performance, at least in the opening stages of last week's race. Looking to follow that up tonight. He's on the soft compound tire, up to the line. 37.1, so that's a good lap right there. Monkey Mafia is next, driving for Williams this week. Up to the line, a 37.2, so time starting to take shape. So in the Alfa Romeo, he's going to cross and go just about off pole, a 37.0, so he's very close to that mark set by Ray. Chris Money pushing on a hot lap at the moment on the medium tires. He had a good recovery drive last week in Monza. Didn't have the best start and was hampered by a drive-through penalty, but recovered very well in that race. He's looking to put on a good showing tonight through the final couple of corners. See the apex speed on turn 19 there. Up to line, that's 3rd fastest on the medium tire, so the medium's looking fairly pacey at the moment. There's Leclerc, a 35.8 on the soft compound tire. Very impressive lap right there. Here's Call Me Maybe, but he is well down in his time, so he should be back into the pits. Same goes for DMAC. As well as Ray way down in his time, so not sure who the next runner will be. So we're seeing the end to the opening runs of this qualifying session. Trying to catch someone who might have just started on another lap. We'll jump along board. That is the other Williams actually. So I'd say for Chris Money, he's actually invalidated. He is running a little bit better on this lap, but unfortunately had invalidated. So most of the field in the pits. We'll have to see if anybody elects to jump off the medium tires back to the softs. I think we've got Ray who's actually going back into the pits. Banshee on an outlap, as well as Kaz and Johnny. So we'll track Kaz here as he's going through Sector 3. On the soft compound tire, which seems to be the slightly more common choice so far. Well, the medium's not looking too bad early on in this qualifying session. Approaching the midway point, and it is very tight. Just 0.2 separating a second from 7th at the moment. Through the final corners, Kaz going to start his first lap of the session. Turn 1, that is an overtaking spot, but you got to be a little bit careful through there. 2 and 3, very difficult to get right. Want to avoid that curb on the right hand side. Could send you straight into the wall. This hairpin's a very tricky corner to get right. Because you want to attack it, your intuition tells you to attack it with an early apex, but that will only compromise your run on the exit. Down the long back straight. I believe Johnny's going to get a bit of a slipstream here, so that wasn't the greatest for either of those drivers' laps. Now down to the second back straight. Again, those inside sausage curbs can be very deadly. You want to take as much curve as possible on that right-hander though. That's how you really maximize the lap around the Sales Marina circuit. Looks like most of the field heading back out for the next layer of runs. It can be a pretty solid lap from Kaz. We'll have to see where that lands him on the leaderboard. He's navigating the final couple of corners now. And up to line, that's a 39.7. That will put him 11th fastest. Johnny is ducked back into the pits. Banshee has invalidated his lap. The Secret is the other one. I think he's just started a lap there. D-Mac through the final sector to start a new lap, as well as both Alpines. I saw an out lap as well, so we'll go on board with K-Dog, who's making her first lap of the session. Down the long back straight once again. I imagine we'd see quite a few of these times start to drop as we approach the latter half of this session, but it's very close throughout the entire field at the moment. Bodes well for the type of race we should be expecting tonight. You saw her go over the curb there on the final turn in that chicane. You can do that and it will maximize your lap time, but it is very unsettling to the car and very tricky to get right. That's VTech retiring from the session as well. I think he's happy with that lap time he's put in. I'll have to see how far down the leaderboard he slips, if at all. But here's K-Dog through the final couple of corners. And up to line, it's a 39.9, so a solid opening lap. Secret is ducking back into the pits as well. I think Kaz is going to be next, but he's into the pits, so D-Mac in the other Ferrari on the medium tire. I believe he set his first run of the session on a set of softs, so he's going to look to improve on that. And up to line, he does jump up to 9th place, just ahead of VTech. Call me maybe he's next. He's a little bit up on his previous time, and he jumps up to 11th. Fruit Giver, and he cannot improve on that lap. We'll see if he elects to go for another run. Banshee as well, but he runs a bit wide there. He manages to keep this lap clean. This could be a solid improvement. Up to line, a 36.1, so very close to Leclerc, but not quite good enough to knock him off provisional pole. Still quite a bit of time remaining in the session. SO is coming through Sector 3 now. Currently sitting 4th on the grid. Looks like he's backed off that lap though. So I believe that is the majority of the second runs in the session done with. We'll have to see if anybody is pushing on another lap. Looks like Fruit Giver is a slight bit up through the first sector. So we'll follow him as he comes out of the first chicane. It's a very tricky traction zone to get right through there, but looks like he does a good job of it. Lost a couple tenths through that sector though, so he's going to want to look to maximize his lap time through here. So we've got most of the rest of the field switching over to the softs as expected here for the final minutes of qualifying. The last few sections of this lap, very difficult to get right with repeated 90-degree corners. Oh, he runs a bit wide through there, and that's going to invalidate his lap right at the end. Let's see, D-Mac, he's pulling into the pits, so that'll be his run finish. Banshee's invalidated. Leclerc is going on an out lap as well. We've got Johnny down the back straight, the only driver yet to set a time, but we know he has some pace. Currently second in the championship, with his primary title rival Shelley starting from the back tonight. He's going to want to capitalize as much as he can. He's going to have to maximize every turn in this final sector. As we're now down to just 3 minutes left in this session. Looks very solid. Chose not to take the curb on that right-hander at turn 17. But you can take that corner a couple ways, but he elected for the conservative route. Does take the curb at turn 19, so this is looking like a very tidy lap for the Williams driver. Up to the line, and it's going to be third fastest with a 36.6, so that is a very nice time right there. Ray's going to be next to Cross. He's going to be starting his lap as well. Going to Leclerc, the provisional pole sitter, but he is well down on his time at the moment. Luckily, he should have time to go for another run if he so chooses. As you're coming out of the pit, so we should see a rush of drivers now. With time ticking down, we've got Ray. I believe he set that last time on the mediums. Yes, he did. So looking to improve with a set of soft tires. Let's see if he can jump the 1 second to land himself on the front row. He's shown very good pace so far in the second half of this season. So we expect this should be a decent time. We'll have to see what the Sector 2 split is at the end of this straight. Looks like he's 3.5 tenths up, so this could be a considerable improvement. Should at least see him jump up to the top 3. Let's see if he can close the gap to the front row. Sector 3, very easy to make a mistake. Let's see if he can hit his marks. Does not take any curb at turn 17 through the hotel section. Very beautiful section of the lap. Oh, so close to the barriers there, but keeps it clean just about. Through turn 19 and 20 and up to the line. It's going to be a 36.2, and he's only a 10th off Silent Banshee, but it's not going to be good enough to jump him. Got a few guys starting laps as well. DMAC for Ferrari. Fruit Giver for the Alpine. Kaz is just behind as well, starting a lap. Leclerc, this is the second lap on this set of tires, but he is up on his time. Let's see if he elects to finish this lap. Might have lost a bit of time there, but should still be okay. He's going to finish this lap. Let's see if he can improve at all. Just be very solid through the final corner and up to the line. He does, a 35.2. Very impressive time right there. Got a bit of a traffic jam here through the final couple corners, but here's Esso. He's well down on his time, but should have just enough time to go again. 4 seconds getting it in. Let's see Monkey Mafia for Williams, over 6 tenths up. Looking to strike into the top 5 with this lap. It is a very compact midfield, so this should see him up quite a few places. The timer's now hit 0, so these will be the final laps of the session. Through turn 19. Up to line, what will it be? And it's going to be 4th fastest at 36.3. Very good time from Monkey Mafia. Banshee is next. He's already a 10th up, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to close the gap to Leclerc. Just a couple corners to go. He is going to want to improve his time a bit with the hungry field behind. Through the final corner. It is a 35.9, so he does break into the 35s, but it's not enough to move him out of second. Here's DMAC. He is a couple tenths up on his time. Out of the final corner, and he improves up to 6th place. A very solid improvement. There's Fruit Giver who then jumps him up to 6th. So time's changing rapidly. Here's Kaz. He's nearly a second up on his time, and he jumps up to 11th. It's a good spot right there for the Ferrari man. Poor man's pole at the moment. Ray's invalidated, so he won't be improving. Here's a secret out of the final couple of corners. These 3 guys have been close for the whole lap, but luckily I don't think they impeded each other at all. Oh, nearly running wide there. But he keeps it clean and goes second with a 35.9, just ahead of his teammate Chris Money, jumping to 5th, and Esso jumping to 7th. So times dropping like wildfire right at the end of this session. Leclerc will be on pole for tonight. A very impressive lap time. With a Just Secret alongside, jumping his teammate by 1/100th of a second right at the death of qualifying. So a very competitive field tonight. Should yield a good race for them all. So that will bring an end to tonight's qualifying session. So we'll take one more look through the qualifying order. It will be Leclerc on pole alongside Secret. Banshee is third, Ray is fourth. Chris Money rounds out the top five. Then it's Monkey Mafia and Esso. Johnny is eighth, Fruit Giver ninth, and D-Mac 10th. All on the soft compound tire, so no strategy changes there. Kaz is 11th, then it's VTAC in 12th, Call Me Maybe 13th, Kate August 14th, and Shelly will be starting tonight from the back of the grid. So it should be very competitive, lots of close times tonight. We'll have to see who ends up on top. Alright, so just about set for tonight's Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. We should have a couple minute break and we'll be right back for the race start. Alright, looks like we're about set to get underway here from the Yas Marina circuits. The timer is setting down. It is a beautiful, clear night over top the Persian Bay, or the Persian Gulf tonight. We had a very competitive grid in qualifying. I expect it to stay that way throughout all 28 laps tonight. And the grid is set for the formation lap. Take one more look through the field as everyone gets set. Leclerc is on pole. Let me switch. Just Secret will be starting alongside in P2. Then it's Banshee in P3. So a good start for the Red Bull team in qualifying. Then it is Ray in P4. P5 is Chris Money in the McLaren. Monkey Mafia is 6th. Esso is 7th. And then it's Johnny in 8th. Fruit Giver is 9th. And D-Mac rounds out the top 10. Outside the top 10, we have Kaz starting 11th, going with the alternate strategy on the hard tires, looking to extend into this race. VTEC in P12, starting on the mediums. He pulled off the reverse strat to perfection last week in Monza and wound up going from the back of the grid to second. So we'll have to see if he can pull that off again tonight. Then it's Call Me Maybe starting 13th, K-Dog 14th, and championship leader Shelly the Turtle starting from the back of the grid. We know he has the pace to make his way back up. We'll have to see if he can do that again tonight. Fairly easy to get overtakes done around here, so that will only aid him in his quest starting from the back of the grid. It's a short run, relatively short run down to turn 1. So it'll be interesting to see who gets the better launch off the grid. How will the Red Bulls play the strategy here? Quite a few questions we have as they head down towards the second chicane, looking at either a 2-stop or a very aggressive 1-stop strategy. I think we could see a split decision tonight. Quite a few guys outside the top 10 electing for the softs, which could be an indicator that the alternate strategy is not the way to go around here. Interesting to take a note of. But we're heading into Sector 3 now, getting set for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix round 22. Stakes are high tonight. Lots of championship points up for grabs. Shelly will be able to take a convincing lead if he pulls off some good result tonight. Is not able to win the title tonight, but definitely can extend his gap. The field is through the final corner now and up to the grid. Tensions will be at their highest now as everybody prepares for the run down to turn 1. It's Red Bull versus Aston Martin on the front row. Who's going to get the better of the lunch? And it's 2, 3, 4, and 5 lights. And we're underway here in Abu Dhabi. Looks to be a bit of wheel spin from Secret on the inside. It's a good launch from Leclerc. The Red Bull side by side and Banshee looking to go around the outside. Nearly contacted to turn 1, but everybody makes it through okay. Chris Money running a bit deep, but he's able to hold on. Esso didn't get the best run. That's D-Mac trying to look up the inside. I think he's going to get the position done. Is that Shelly all the way up into 10th place already and looking for more? What a start from the championship leader, and he's already up another spot into 9th. He's made up 6 positions in the first sector. Nearly had to give that position back, but he did make it stick. Ray was able to get past Banshee as well, so he's up into the top 3, splitting the Red Bulls. But the top 2 forced back out of that. Monkey Mafia looking to the inside. Chris Money had to go a little bit deep through there, picked up a time penalty. That's Johnny looking for space as well. There's now Peen spun around, and that is Fruit Giver, who's had a bit of an incident at the back of the field. Shelly the Turtle up to 8th. Chris Money and Monkey Mafia side by side into the triple right-hander. And Chris Money prevails around the outside. Maybe a little bit of contact through there, but they make it through okay. Now Johnny looking to the inside into the hotel section, side by side. What a fantastic opening lap this has been. And Leclerc has scampered away out in front. He's pulled out over a 2-second gap in the opening lap. And now the Red Bulls scrapping for P2. We'll have to wonder if Secret picked up any wing damage from that incident at chicane. Seems to be fairly alright, and that's Call Me Maybe now having a spin at turn 1. So both Alpines not having the best luck early. Shelly trying to go around the outside of Johnny into the chicane. Can he make it stick? They're still side by side, but Johnny has the inside for the time being. So 2 championship rivals going at it here. Let's see if Shelly can get the run down the back straight. Of course, no DRS yet at this stage, but it looks like he's going to have it done. Side by side towards the chicane. And who's going to be braver on the brakes? Looks like it's going to be about even, but Shelly has the advantageous line, but it's going to switch for the second apex. And the Mercedes driver makes a move. Now Ray and Secret are side by side. Battles all the way up and down the field. Secret does get back ahead, but Banshee has managed to clear both of these guys and is up into 2nd place. Johnny and Shelly side by side once again. Neither driver willing to give an inch. D-Mac is just looking for space at the moment. This is bringing VTech and Esso into the back of this battle as well. Some fantastic racing early on in this race. Oh, that's Esso. I think he picked up a bit of wing damage there. He got into the back of the AlphaTauri, and that is not going to be good for his race. There you can see he's very off the pace. That's a very tricky braking zone, as we saw there. That is something that can easily happen. Now the top two have started to pull away. Banshee looking to run down Leclerc ahead. Ray getting a big snap of oversteer there, but he's catching it. And he's just on the back of Secret as well as Chris Money. These three guys scrapping it out for third place. Esso does indeed duck into the pit lane for presumably a wing change. We now will have DRS enabled. Ray looked like he got a very good launch out of the turn 7 hairpin. Secret taking the defensive line to the inside. Ray trying to go around the outside, and he does just about take the position just ahead of the braking zone. Let's see if Secret is going to be able to fight it back down the second straight. Looks like he's sticking relatively closely, but I don't think he's going to be close enough. He's getting a run. He's looking to the outside, trying to find any space possible. And he does manage to squeak his way through. So fantastic battling there. Good racing from everybody there. And VTech and DMAC are going at it for 9th place. This is just behind Shelly and Johnny, who are still scrapping for 7th. Thrilling racing all around. Take a brief look at the position changes early on in this race. Shelly, he's made his way through half the field, up 7 places. VTech and K-Dog making some considerable progress as well early on in this race. Sticking with this battle for 3rd place, Monkey Mafia has started to pull up to the back as well. Ooh, Chris Money gets a bit of a better run than Ray, and they're going to try to go side by side through turn 2. Very close, but they managed to keep it clean. Now there's Banshee out of the race. Oh, contact from Chris Money, and Chris Money's out of the race as well, and that is going to be a safety car. Oh, that is a very difficult section to go side by side, and we can see why. I think Banshee spinning up ahead didn't do these guys any favors either. And with racing so close, it was bound to happen at some point. But this is good news from Esso, who will be dragged back into this race, and he has gone to a fresh set of mediums, so likely looking at a 2-stop. We'll have to see what the leaders elect to do here. All the top 6 on the soft compound. So I imagine we'll see most of them into the pits. But it may be a bit of a split decision. Leclerc is not going to be happy with that safety car. He pulled out an 8-second, or quite a significant lead. It was about 4 seconds to Banshee before he had that spin there. Let's see what he elects to do. It looks like he will elect to come into the pit lane. So the next question is going to be, which compound do they go on? Looks like Secret leaving it for the last second, but he is going to duck into the pits. Looks like most of the field as well. The Williams drivers here are going to double stack, so that is not good. And I think it's going to be worth it for them. Leclerc's gone on to the mediums. VTech staying out. He did start on that compound of mediums, but the rest of the field is in. Kaz on the hard tires, pretty much forced to stay out at this stage. I believe Esso is going to stay out as well, but looks like VTech will assume the race lead. Leclerc's going to come out in P2, and crucially, we've got Kaz, who's wedged between Leclerc and the rest of the field. So that gap not all for naught early on in this race. We see Ray and Shelly both coming into a second set of softs early on, which is going to give them a bit of an advantage on this restart. But we'll have to see if it pans out in their favor long term. Esso did stay out as we expected, so he'll jump back up into 11th position. So we take a breather for a second here. 4 laps complete. We're on the 5th lap of this race. So some very good action early on. Lots of good racing. And the strategy involved now is just going to shake things up even more. Take a quick rundown through the field of VTEC. He stayed out on that under that safety car, but he had started on this medium tire, which is only 4 laps old, so this could work out in his favor. Leclerc is second on that fresh set of medium tires. Kaz stayed out on the hards and he's come out in 3rd. Ray is the first of the 2 soft runners in 4th place at the moment. Then it's Monkey Mafia who's 5th, who's managed to jump a Secret, who may have gone for a wing change then, as he's dropped down to 6th place. It's Johnny who's taking 7th then. Double stack didn't affect him too much. He still managed to come out ahead of Shelly, who's gone for another set of softs. Then it's K-Dog who's up to 9th on her fresh set of mediums. D-Mac in 10th as well. So after pitting early for that wing change on the back of the field into 11th, and what has happened here? Is Kaz going into the pits? Looks like he is. So he's deciding to get off that set of hards. Anyway, at the back of the grid, it is then both Alpines, 12th and 13th, although I imagine Kaz is going to drop back. We'll have to see what set of tires he goes on. Could be interesting if he goes to the mediums to see if he will try to take those to the end. It looks like he's going for a set of softs, so likely looking at a 2-stop strategy then. But that is not going to be what Leclerc wants, because that's going to put Ray right on his gearbox when we come to this restart. So I think it'll be interesting to see how the strategy then plays out. As they wind through Sector 2. And there's the confirmation the safety car will be in this lap, so we'll have to see how the slightly worn tires of VTEC fare against the rest of the field. If he can manage to hold his position and maybe even escape the DRS, he could be in a very good position for the rest of this race. But it's all going to come down to how well he gets a good jump on this restart. We've got varying strategies already, which are all going to come into play very shortly, I can imagine. Underneath the hotel section, everybody just waiting for VTEC to punch the throttle. And looks like he's gone, and we're going to be back underway. Let's see if Leclerc can stick with him. It looks like he's timed the jump well. Ray's dropped off a little bit. I think he's still going to be within that 1 second, but it's not going to be as close as he would have liked. Leclerc trails VTEC by just a couple of tenths as they come out of turn 1. He's very close, already looking to get through. Thought about going side by side through turn 3, but thought better of it. Secret and Monkey Mafia going side by side into the chicane. And looks like Secret is going to have that place. Leclerc and VTEC are side by side. Leclerc tried to go the long way around. Now looking for the switchback. Of course, no DRS. I think he's going to have it done. Here comes Ray. Slipstreaming off Leclerc 3 wide down the back straight. Who's going to come out on top? Who's going to be bravest on the brakes? Look at those soft tires working up the inside. Leclerc has to back out of that AlphaTauri sandwich. And Ray has jumped from 3rd to 1st in the span of 1.5 sectors. Now Leclerc and VTEC are still side by side. Oh, they've gone off and Leclerc's in the wall. And that is an unfortunate accident for the pole sitter, and the safety car is out. That is not what Leclerc wanted. And let's see if VTEC, he has picked up wing damage. So he's going to have to go back into the pits here. So again, a product of the tight racing we've seen. And the safety car is out once again. So Ray was able, he made that impressive move up the inside and was able to find himself in the net race lead. I imagine we'll see VTEC in due to that wing damage. Let's see if anybody else elects to jump back into the pits. Does not look like it. And VTEC going in to pick up that, or to sort out that wing damage. Looks like Kaz is back in as well. He's looking to get off that soft tires. So Ray is still going to be the leader once we get this back underway. This should not affect the strategy too much, although it may help those medium runners if they elect to try to take these tires to the end. Looking behind the front two, though, we have both Williams drivers who have looked very solid today, and then it's Shelley starting from the back of the grid all the way up to 5th place already. Looking very strong early on tonight. So Cass is going for another set of softs. VTEC to the mediums, so he's committing to the 2-stop there, as he has gone medium so far in this race. But Ray did exactly what he needed to do on that last restart. He's got himself into some clean air. Now he's going to be able to make the most of those soft tires before he has to pit once again for the mediums, most likely. So we do have 2 of those penalties. I believe there was a collision under the safety car or an ignoring yellow flag, so perhaps a bit of confusion there. But those drivers, K-Dog and Esther, they'll have to serve those penalties if they elect to come back into the pits. Otherwise, they may be able to get those removed. Looks like everybody will be staying out once again. Although Kaz back in the pits once again, so perhaps trying a bit of cheeky strategy here, but we did see that not work out last week in Monza. But we'll have to see what happens there. So Kaz has gone on to another set of softs, which are actually older than the previous ones. I imagine we should still see the safety car back in this lap, which means we will restart with 19 laps to go. And yes, looks like Kaz will close up to the back of the field. And we should get the confirmation at the end of this straight. So imagine these strategy wheels have to be spinning at the moment. There's the confirmation safety car in this lap. So from one Alpha Tower driver to another, leading on the safety car restart. We've got Secret in second this time. Let's see if he can manage to jump as well as Leclerc did last time. We've got both Williams behind as well. They've looked quite pacey early on. And Johnny is actually on the restart. He managed to get ahead of Monkey Mafia, which wedged a gap in between him and Shelly, who had been going at it for quite some time. But coming up to turn 19 now, so this should be the race back underway. Everybody getting as much heat into their tires as possible. And looks like Ray has gone. Looks to be a decent restart from the entire field. But Ray gets the power down very early out of turn 20. Looks like he's going to have the lead by a considerable amount towards turn 1. Monkey Mafia close as well. Esso up the inside of K-Dog. That's for 7th. They're going to be side by side through turn 1. Esso's going to have the advantage out of the corner. And both Alpines going side by side. Oh, and that's Fruit Giver having to back out on the inside. Call me maybe with a nice move around the outside. And K-Dog does get back through on Esso, but Esso up the inside into the chicane. He will hold on to 7th place. That's another Alpine around that. There's Fruit Giver having a spin at the chicane. So that's what those sausage scrapes can do to you if you hit them. But I think he's got it back going again. The top 6 pulling out a bit of a gap. Don't think anybody's going to be close enough yet without the DRS. Call me maybe getting a move on the inside of K-Dog. As Monkey and Shelly fighting it out as well for 4th place. D-Mac getting a good run as well. He's been quiet in this race, but he's found himself up to 6th. Again, not going to be close enough that time without the DRS. 3.6 seconds is the gap between D-Mac and Esso. Let's see if Esso can close that gap. But once again at the front is Ray and Secret, just like we saw last week in Monza. We'll have to see who gets the better of each other this time, but Johnny is still trying to stick within that 1 second. If he can stay in the DRS of the front 2, he should be able to pull right back up to them. The field's starting to spread out just a little bit on this restart compared to the last one. But the top 3 have pulled a bit of a gap, and they've broken the DRS to Monkey Mafia. So Monkey's got to pull back a couple tenths on this lap if he wants to stick with the leaders. There's a yellow flag, and that's K-Dog out of the race, out on the exit of the final corner. And the virtual safety car is out. So no full safety car once again, but we are on a virtual safety car. So now everything is just going to be about watching those deltas. This could be Monkey Mafia's opportunity if he can springboard back up inside of the 1 second. But we're back underway. Looks like everybody kept it clean on the restart. Johnny lost out quite a bit of time, and he's dropped the DRS from the top 2. But the gap now from the top 2 is over 2 seconds at the moment. Looking very rapid, and Secret he's looking quite pacey and able to keep up on that set of mediums. But we'll have to see if he can hold on as long as he needs to. Shelly the Turtle actually dropping off a bit as well, so perhaps the soft tires not working out as well as some of these guys had hoped. And he's going to have to work to get back within the DRS range of these 2 Williams drivers. VTEC is approaching, call me maybe. This is for 8th. There's yellow flag, and that's Shelly out of the race now. And he's had to spin the same place that Silent Banshee did. And that's the championship leader out of the race. Which is absolutely crucial for Johnny now, as he could narrow this gap down to single digits with a race win. For the lead though, it's Secret up the inside of the chicane. Looks like he's got the move done, but can he hold it down the 2nd straight? Who's going to get the better exit? Looks like Secret got a good exit, but Ray is right there. And he's going to look to the inside. Does a nice job maintaining the race lead. Monkey Mafia getting past Johnny as well, so the Williams driver switching places. No team orders there so far. But these race leaders are still closer than ever. Look how close as they get through Sector 3 once again. I think it's going to be a matter of who can get in front and pull out a 1 second gap first. Johnny sticking with Monkey Mafia as well. Those Monkey Mafia putting in the fastest lap of the race, but those guys are still dropping a bit to the front too. We'll have to see if they can inch that gap closer, especially these top two start scrapping a little bit. Approaching the halfway point of this race. Looks like Ray got a very good exit out of the hairpin there. We'll have to see if Secret can fight back. DRS is very powerful on the straight, but he's got a long ways to go. Thinks better, but he might be able to line himself up for a move into the second chicane. And he is right on the gearbox of Ray, but look at the punch Ray got on the exit of the corner. Don't think he's going to be close enough this time. He's going to be forced to stay behind once again. And look at the gap to the Williams, 1.6 seconds. So Monkey Mafia is pulling Johnny along, and we could have a four-way battle for the lead very shortly. And now if you're Monkey Mafia, you could just see that gap deteriorating with every corner. And if he's able to close that gap before we get back to the DRS zone, this is going to be quite the fight. This could be on for another fastest lap of the session as well for Monkey Mafia. And it looks like it will be. So these top four, they pulled out a gap of about 3.5 seconds to D-Mac behind, who's running a very quiet race in 5th place at the moment. But right now the focus is on the top four. Monkey Mafia didn't have the best run through Sector 1 there. He's lost a bit of time. As well as Esso picking up the first corner cutting penalty of the night. Once again, let's see who has the advantage down towards the braking zone at turn 8. Secret is using every last bit of his battery. And he's going to look up the inside. Ray's going to give him the line, but he's going to try to fight it back. You can see Secret still harvesting, taking the outside. He knows he can't fight back, and Ray's going to go back on through. Some very thrilling stuff. Good to see the clean racing from both of these guys. Dueling it out at the front. That's a lovely shot. The car's climbing up through the chicane. Monkey Mafia down to 1.2 seconds. And he's actually on the verge of dropping Johnny out of the DRS. Well, Secret got a bit wide through there, and that could hinder him a little bit. But you can see Ray's soft tire starting to deteriorate a little bit. And we should see him into the pits soon and within the next couple of laps. Johnny did fight his way back within 1 second, although he's lost a little bit on the exit there. We're now halfway through this race, and things are starting to pan out a little bit. The contenders are starting to take shape as the strategies evolve. Kaz picking up a time penalty. He's actually nearly on the back of Call Me Maybe. This is for 9th. Come back to this battle. We're tracking this DRS zone fight. You can see Secret on the battery. He's got absolutely nothing left. Might be worth just taking a couple laps. Oh, and he's gotten into the back of Ray there. Hopefully he didn't pick up any wing damage from that. Seems to be okay. But he's once again just not quite going to be close enough down into the second chicane. Front wing seems to be okay from that angle, although it's difficult to see anything for the moment. Colby maybe was able to hang on to 9th for the moment. Let's see if Kaz can fight it back. I think he's going to be a bit too far behind on this occasion. Looks like it will be. But crucially, Monkey Mafia within 1 second of the leaders now. Let's see if he can hold it to the DRS zone. We're about to see a four-way scrap for the lead, but both the top two into the pits. Interesting that both of them coming in at the same time despite being on different compounds. So perhaps Secret trying to just cover off the undercut attempt. He's gone for a fresh set of mediums, as has Ray. I think he's gotten a wing change as well. Secret there, as he's dropped quite a bit off. So perhaps he did pick up a little bit of damage in that contact. Esso and Fruit Giver are in as well, so things starting to kick off at the moment. Monkey Mafia now is the race leader. Johnny in second. Let's see if he goes for it. He's going to look to the inside. Can he make it stick? Thinks better of it. No need to push it at this stage. Kaz does get past Call Me Maybe, but they're side by side on the exit of the chicane. Who's going to get the DRS? And I think it's going to be Kaz who does have the DRS. Let's see if he can use it to stay ahead. The Williams are going side by side as well. That's Johnny taking advantage into the lead, as well as Kaz getting ahead of Call Me Maybe. Oh, there's a little bit of contact. Not sure what happened there. Maybe there's a bit of a spin. I think Kaz might have had a bit of a moment on the exit of the corner. But Call Me Maybe possibly trying to give him the position back, and Secret is through on both of them. So he's got that wing changed, and he's come out 6 seconds off of the Alpha Towers ahead, which is absolutely crucial. So let's see if the leaders come in. They don't. So they're not electing to cover off the undercut attempt, which could mean one of either two things. Either they're taking these tires to the end, or they're extending to a soft stint. We'll have to see which of those options plays dividends for him. Look at Secret. He's making up loads of ground on VTEC ahead. He's closed in just over a second in that last sector alone. Going purple in Sector 3. So looking very rapid at the moment. Call Me Maybe he's into the pits. I think he did pick up wing damage in that incident. Luckily it was about time for him to switch off those tires anyway. Monkey Mafia crucially does not have the DRS on Johnny. Let's see if he can stick with him through the detection point here. I don't think he's going to be close enough. Actually, he might have just about got it, which he does, crucially. So these Williams possibly playing a bit of a team game, just slingshotting each other forward. As the gap to Ray is now only 15 seconds. So Ray's looking in a very good position now. I'll have to see if these two Williams out front can play their cards right. Things starting to settle down a little bit now, becoming a game of strategy. Secret is rapidly closing the gap. VTEC is dropping off of Ray's on much older tires. And he's going to be in probably in the next couple laps for a set of softs. We'll have to see if he can maybe do a little bit of a Checo style defense on Secret for his teammate Ray. Although that wing change for Secret might have just cost him the opportunity to get through. As Ray puts in the fastest lap of the race. And then Secret tops it by nearly over half a second, in fact. So in this clean air now, he's showing a bit of the pace that he has as Kaz is finally in off that set of softs. Presumably doing a new set of softs to finish out this Grand Prix. Secret going even faster through Sector 1. Kaz going to the medium tire, so absolutely taking those to the end. Monkey Mafia has dropped off just a bit from Johnny. But I imagine we'll see them in the next lap or two. You can see the gap to Ray has dropped all the way down to about 12 seconds now from Monkey Mafia. So I don't think they'll be able to hang on if they stay out. It's a very difficult decision right now. Secret is looking very quick, and let's see if he's going to be able to get through on VTEC. He's going to catch him in a bit of an awkward position going through Sector 3. Let's see if he can find a way through. It's going to be absolutely crucial to his race that he does, because he's already over 5 seconds behind his rival Ray. And Monkey Mafia does duck into the pits. So presumably a set of softs there. Secret is still not quite able to get through. VTech staying out another lap. We'll have to see where Monkey Mafia comes out relative to this group. He has gone onto a set of softs, and you can see him exiting the pit lane now. Of course, the pit lane does undercut the track here at turn 1. But I think it's going to come out just behind. As he will, but only by about 2 seconds. Secret looking to the inside. Can he make it stick here? Thinks better of it. He's going to save up and hold for the DRS straight, which is going to cost him a bit of time in the short term, as he's already lost over a second to Ray. But he's going to be able to fly on through here most likely and get the slingshot with the DRS. But Monkey Mafia not quite within DRS range this time. But he's going to be following through very shortly, and that's Secret up into 4th. Oh, VTech had to go a bit deep there. Might have had a bit of an issue, but that's going to bring Monkey Mafia right back into this. Not quite close. He does have DRS, but let's see if any of these positions change. You can see all the lights flashing. Secret defends the inside. VTech going to the outside. Can he get back ahead? Secret defending well. So VTech, he got a very good launch there, but wasn't close enough to get back in front. And now he's just going to move out of the way. He knows that's not his race. And Johnny is into the pits, leaving DMAC as the oldest runner on the mediums. Let's see if he decides to come in as well. Looks like he will. So final stops of the day for these guys, which was going to send Ray back into the race lead. Secret is going to be comfortably in second now with a bit of clean air. Let's see if he can run down Ray ahead. He's got a long way to go. And Johnny, and he's actually come out just ahead of Monkey Mafia. So Monkey Mafia has not made the undercut work. That little bit of scrapping he got caught up in might have just about cost him. DMAC has caught out in 7th, just behind SO. Should be able to gain a couple more positions though. Monkey Mafia, he is going to be right in about the same position he was before them. Might be able to slingshot back ahead. And these guys are actually just about on the back of Secret, so maybe he's lost a bit of pace that he had, giving it all in the first couple laps of the stint. And on the soft tires, maybe they might have a shot at running down Ray up ahead. But these top 4 have created a bit of a gap for themselves relative to the rest of the field. I think Secret has gave it everything he had on those first couple laps. Now struggling to stay ahead of these guys. Looks like VTech has decided to come into the pits on this lap. As we expected. Presumably for a set of softs. Looks like he's going to rejoin just behind Fruit Giver. These guys are closing in a bit on Ray, but I don't think they're going to make up enough time. Secret without the DRS. You can see him harvesting. Johnny looking to the outside. He should have this move done before the braking zone, and he does. He's just got to defend down the second DRS straight now. Sometimes it's difficult to make a move stick, and you can see Secret is right there. Can he find a way back through? He's not quite got the speed he needs, but he's going to go to the outside anyway. Oh, it's going to be a bit awkward, but I think he's got it done. A very impressive move. And Secret is back up into second place. D-Mac found his way through on Esso, and he's up to 5th. Can't count him out yet. He's only 6 seconds off of that group ahead, who is fighting out quite massively. Ray's just lost quite a few tenths there. He's still got about almost 6 seconds, but he's lost nearly a second over the last sector. So this race is far from over as we have just 7 laps to go now. Emac putting in the fastest lap of the race. Don't know if he's going to have enough time. .5 seconds is the gap from the race leader to this group. And the one thing to think of is if these guys can just sort of leapfrog each other and keep it clean without fighting too much amongst themselves, they might be able to close up that gap. And you can see Secret's light flashing once again. You can see Johnny, he's going to set himself up for the second straight this time. He's not going to go for it up the inside. Went a little bit deep at the first apex though, and that's going to compromise his exit. And now Monkey Mafia is right on the back as well. This is going to be tight. Oh, Johnny going to the inside. What a move from Johnny. He's going to be up into second place. It didn't look like he was going to find his way through, but he has. And that is an absolutely massive move. And Monkey Mafia, he went to the outside at first, but was not able to get through. And as it stands, Johnny is on track to lower the gap in the championship to just 11 points. Up to the stripe, 6 laps to go. Closing in on race even more still. These guys are on fresher tires, and Secret is struggling to stay within the DRS. Just about has, and he's going to try to drop Monkey Mafia if he can, and he might have just about done it. And he has. So Secret might be able to use this to pull himself away. But Monkey Mafia is sticking with it just about it at 9/10. Under 5 seconds the gap to the race leader. They're going to need about a second a lap if they want to have a chance. Johnny's got some of the freshest tires in the field, and he's got clean air in front of him now. But that gap is definitely shrinking. Ray's been in command for a long time in this race. But the strategy is still yet to decide who's going to come home with this victory. 4.4 seconds. As we hit 5 laps to go, you can see Ray is losing a lot of time down the pit straight or out of the final corner again. Johnny doing a personal best. He's just about dropped Secret from the DRS, so he's got nothing to worry about behind. VTech is closing up to Fruit Giver as well. We're going to track that battle, which is for 7th place. Secret worked himself back within the DRS range. We'll have to see if he can stick with it. Monkey Mafia's dropped off quite a bit off this battle. But he's managed to maintain the gap to D-Max, so looking very good for 4th place. Down the back straight once again. Under 4 seconds is the gap. Secret is not quite close enough to get through on this occasion. Although he's got to just be playing the gaps. He's got to use Johnny's fresh tires to drag him back into contention here. VTech is on the back of Fruit Giver, chasing him down for 7th. He's going to have a tough time finding a way through in Sector 3, though. So for now, we'll jump back up to the leaders. They are closing. They've made up about a second in that last lap, which is what they need to, but they're going to have to keep this pace up, and those softs are going to start to deteriorate quicker than those mediums. So Ray's just got to hang on. Only a couple more laps left in this race. Secret once again not going to be close enough. You can see the light flashing on the Williams. So perhaps both of these guys have just been pushing a bit in the last few laps. Oh, Secret goes a bit deep, and that's going to be not good. He's going to pick up a time penalty for that, as he completely missed the apex on the first chicane. That is effectively going to cost his chances at the race win. But the gap has started to stabilize now. It's been about 3.2 seconds for the entirety of this lap. VTech does get past Fruit Giver down the back straight. So back up into 7th. Some solid points for AlphaTauri in the Constructors battle, which is still very well up for grabs. Only 55 points back on Williams. But here we are now with underneath 2 seconds. They only made up a couple of tenths on that last lap, and we've only got 3 laps to go now. Margin is 2.9. An extra 4 points for the race win could go a long way for Johnny towards that championship fight, especially with Shelly the Turtle scoring no points today. Right now the gap would be 11 points for the championship. The gap to the race leader, 2.7. Johnny's been able to keep Secret behind, but he's got to have that little bit of a thought in the back of his mind, which could be affecting him at the moment. And Secret is close this time, but he does not get a good run out of the chicane. And he's not going to have enough going down into the second end. And Ray's pulled out. It was briefly ahead by more than 3 seconds, but that gap has started to come back down. Monkey Mafia, the gap to D-Max still around 6 seconds, so I think everything is starting to stabilize throughout the rest of the field. We're just tracking these top 3. Of course, the last thing either the top 2 wants to do is pick up a penalty like Secret has, which could be absolutely detrimental. Here we go, 2 laps to go. They only made up about 6/10 that lap. And if they absolutely have to be within that 1 second by the time they get to the back straight on the next lap. That is at the absolute minimum if they want any shot at all. They're going to have to make up 1.4 seconds this time. Oh, and Secret. Big snap of oversteer. He's managed to catch it. But that might just knock him out of DRS range, which is going to see his bid for the top 2 just about done. Actually, he has caught on, but he's a long ways back, and Johnny now down to 2.1. So Johnny was within 2 seconds for a brief time, but Ray's opened that gap up once again. So here we are, coming to the final lap of the Grand Prix. Ray's got 1.8 seconds ahead. Johnny has been closing, but I don't think he's going to be closing enough. He had a big snap of oversteer there, and that's going to drop him back even more. Now he's going to be under pressure from Secret. Oh, when there's contact and Secret's going around. He's going to manage to keep that off the wall. And he's got it back going again. I don't know if he has any wing damage, but that's going to send Monkey Mafia through. And the D-Mac is going to be within range as well. It was a bit of an odd collision. He got into the back of Johnny and the back end stepped out. Looks like he might be missing the front wing on the right side. Actually, no, it looks to be okay. We'll have to see if he can hang on to fourth. He's got that time penalty, which might drop him down to fifth. But we'll get back up to the front. Down the back straight for the final time. Ray's been in control of this race. Was looking a bit tentative at in the first stint. But he's opened up a very solid gap now. And looks like he's going to make it back-to-back race victories for the AlphaTauri man. Coming through turn 19 and 20 for the final time. And for the second week in a row, it is going to be Ray taking home the victory here in Tier 2 at Abu Dhabi. And Johnny coming home with a huge second, bringing him now just 11 points away from the title. Monkey Mafia rounding out the podium, a very solid result. A Secret does hang on, brings home fourth. D-Mac will jump him on penalties. SO crossing the line, he's going to finish fifth or sixth. VTech just ahead of Fruit Giver. Will have the advantage on penalties, so he's going to bring himself home in seventh. Very solid double points finish for AlphaTauri. Fruit Giver finishing eighth. Then rounding out the field, it's going to be Kaz and then Call Me Maybe. Ooh, Kaz running a bit deep through there. But he will finish ninth. And it's going to be Call Me Maybe. He's not had the best of races, but bringing it home with a top 10. So a very exciting Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Ending up with Ray bringing home the race victory. So we'll go through the finishing order real briefly here. But there's your results. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you for Tier 1.